My name is Katie Ites. I'm the Lead Art Outsource Manager, and I've been with Zynga for about 10 years now. I am primarily responsible for the character concept art creation, but we're also doing mesh and texture work for characters, and eventually we're going to expand into environments. So my creative process, first we get our design brief. I will then go frame by frame through the show and pull as many images as I can from each episode, especially the episodes where they might have the specific outfit that we want, or it's from the specific scene that their champion art is based off of. From there, I go into a 3D program to pose a rough 3D model of a body. It just establishes a base to make sure all of the proportions and anatomy are correct and that the clothing is laying across the body in the appropriate way. From there, then we will sketch over top of the rendered out 3D pose. We'll draw the clothing for the character. I'll then share with our partner team, and then we go through the process of painting the concept art with their artists. We made several specific design choices and iterations during the character process for Walder Frey. We wanted to base his character art around the Red Wedding. We weren't sure if we would be able to find enough references to accurately make his costume match what it is in Game of Thrones. A kind of an Easter egg, but drawing on the lore of the Night's Watch specifically, they all wear black, right? But it's actually a bunch of different blacks. Over time, the dye will lessen, and so your blacks will be less dark, and they add more dye. So you'll actually get a lot of shades and variations of colors within the Night's Watch black, like a little bit of teal or blue or green or browns, sepias in there. So for the texture and mesh work, it's basically setting up the 3D model for our animators to then take and animate. And they do this work in-house as well. They're very good at it. It's really interesting what you'll find when you're doing mesh and texture work. It is a full 3D model, but you would never rotate it fully around. So sometimes when they're making the mesh and you rotate it, it looked okay in the concept when you don't have the mesh, but then when you rotate it, his nose was like sticking way out to here, like way out. Oh no, okay, we need to revise. It's just a fun part of the process for us. If I were to be in any house of Game of Thrones, I would be in House Reed. They're just like forest people. They're very seclusionary. They are enemies of the Freys. I don't like the Freys. My house and my sigil in Game of Thrones Legends would be something very mythical, a woman's face silhouette, probably with antlers coming up, House Fae, or something more mythical like that, I think. But if I could choose, I would be one of the children of the forest. That would be fun. My weapon of choice would be the bow and arrow. I actually used to shoot some bow and arrow with my dad when I was a kid, and probably a dagger as well. The prophecy dagger, the one that Bran is almost killed with when he was a kid, when he's almost assassinated. It's also the same dagger that's actually in House of the Dragon when Alicent tries to stab Rhaenyra. So comment below to let me know your favorite character from the Game of Thrones world. Make sure to like and subscribe.